Hello, kamusta tayong lahat? I praise the Almighty Father, for He is. He is good, He is just, He is righteous, He is holy. He is full of mercy and grace. He created us in His image and likeness. He created this world out of nothing. And it's for us, for His children. And I thank also Jesus Christ for giving His life on the cross for the forgiveness of our iniquities, for healing us because we are sick. Our sickness is committing wickedness. That's our sickness. And so Jesus healed us by His precious blood. And now we have a hope in the future to be with our Father in His kingdom that will never end. Jesus Christ is not only our King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but He is also our friend, the Messiah, the Redeemer, the Lamb of God, the bread of life. And I thank the Holy Spirit, for He is living in our hearts. He is always reminding us to obey our Father. He is always reminding us of the teachings of Jesus Christ that we have read in the Bible. We have the Bible. The Almighty Father gave us the Bible. It's a manual on how to live in this world. So last time we read Genesis chapter 6 and 7. For recap, dito sa Genesis chapter 6, the Almighty Father saw that the men were wicked. The Almighty Father was sorry that He made man on earth. He was grieved in His heart. Our Father was broken-hearted because of the wickedness of people. Kahit alam ni Almighty Father, He gave us free will, He gave us choice to do things in our own way. But our Father, He is holy. Hindi niya maisip yung mga wickedness na naisip natin. That's why the Almighty Father was grieved in His heart. Because our Father is holy. Alam niyo ba yung tao na pag innocent ka, wala kang alam na wickedness. And then, makakakita ka ng mga tao na wicked, magugulat ka ngayon. You will be grieved or broken-hearted. Ganun si Almighty Father. Kasi si Almighty Father, ang alam lang ni Almighty Father is goodness and graciousness, mercy. Nakita niya yung wickedness kay Lucifer. Nakita niya yung wickedness. Alam ni Almighty Father na may wickedness ang tao. Pero, alam din niya kung hanggang saan dadating ang point ng pinaka-wicked ways ng man. Pero, nung nakita na niya, sobrang nasaktan si Almighty Father. May mga bagay tayo na mga wickedness na ayaw nating isipin na mangyayari. Ayokong isipin to dahil pangit ito. Pero ang tao ginawa yon. Yun ang kay Almighty Father. Ayaw ni Almighty Father isipin yung mga pangit na bagay. Pero ang tao, ginawa yon, nakita ni Almighty Father, and He was grieved in His heart. He was heartbroken. Yung plano ni Almighty Father sa atin, it's for greatness. And then nakikita niya yung kanyang mga anak, ang ginagawa, wickedness. And so the Almighty Father decided to destroy the man whom he created, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air. For the Almighty Father was sorry that he made man. But there's hope. The Almighty Father found hope in Noah. Nakita ni Almighty Father, may hope ang tao. Nakita ko si Noah. He was doing great. That's why Noah found grace in the eyes of the Almighty Father. Because Noah was a just man. He was honest, he was fair, he was humble, upright. He did good in the eyes of the Almighty Father. Noah walked with God. Kung ano yung gusto ni Almighty Father, that's what Noah did. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Dito tayo galing ngayon kay Noah. So yung lahi ni Cain, wala na. Wala na yung lahi ni Tubal-Cain, no? Si Tubal-Cain, na binabanggit ng isang organization, wala na yung lahi na yon. Ang lahi natin, galing na tayo kay Noah. So yung may mga movie na Cain's brother, wala nang brother na mga lahi si Cain na wickedness. Dahil galing na tayo lahat kay Noah and then kay Seth. Pero yung ibang mga anak ni Seth, no? Siyempre nagkaroon ng anak si Seth, nagkaroon ng mga kapatid yung mga anak ni Seth. So nag-branch out na rin yun. Pero tayo ay galing na kay Noah. Identified na tayo kay Noah. Dahil nalunod yung mga lahi ni Cain. Hindi lang tayo sure kung yung asawa ng mga anak ni Noah ay may blood ni Cain or descendants of Cain. Usually kasi, in the olden days, ang mga napapangasawa nila, nasa kanilang kasama rin. Sometimes, sister nila, cousin, or aunt nila, or uncle nila. Hindi pa kasi, bawal yon. Wala pa sa law. Dumating yung law na yon nasa Book of Leviticus na hindi mo na pwedeng maging asawa ang iyong kapatid. Pero nung time nito, nung hindi pa naisusulat ang Book of Law that was given to Moses by the Almighty Father, pwedeng maging asawa yung kapatid. Kaya nga itong si Abraham, ang asawa niya si Sarah, who was his half sister. So si Almighty Father, pinagawa niya ng ark. Si Noah. To save Noah and his family. Ngayon, sino ang magsisave sa atin? Or ang nag-save sa atin? Si Jesus Christ. No? In the time of the Israelites, they had the Ark of the Covenant. It symbolizes also Jesus Christ. So, way ni Almighty Father to end life on earth at the time of Noah was to bring flood waters on the earth. Pinaapaw ni Almighty Father yung mga rivers, yung dagat, and yung mga geysers under the ground, nagbulwak ng water. So, lahat ng humihinga sa ilong, namatay. Tao, animals, no? Mga birds, except mga fish. Kaya walang fish sa Noah's Ark. Ang meron lang doon mga birds and creatures na galing sa land. So, sino ang gumawa ng ark? Pinutos ni Almighty Father. Ang pagpe-paint ng ark ay yung pitch. Bakit pitch? Para hindi pumasok yung water. Pero, mag-isa lang si Noah. And he was doing the ark for 100 years. Mag-isa lang siyang gumagawa. And sometimes, tumutulong sa kanya ang kanyang mga anak. Inutos ni Almighty Father, male and female. No? So, isang lalaki lang at isang babae. Isang aso, tsaka na babae, isang aso na lalaki, isang pusa na babae, isang pusa na lalaki, pati mga ibon. At bigyan ng mga pagkain. So yung mga ibon, ang pagkain nila, mga fruits, no? Or mga seeds. So yung mga animals, hindi na tumakbo si Shem, tsaka si Japheth para manghuli ng mga lion, elephant, lika manghuli tayo. Hindi na, pinalapit na ni Almighty Father. Dahil alam naman natin, di ba, na pag nagkakaroon ng flood or earthquake, yung mga animals, nagtatakbuhan na sila. Ginawa ni Almighty Father, pinatakbo ni Almighty Father, yung mga animals, papunta sa ark, sa place kung nasaan ang ark. So, doon ipinapasok ni Almighty Father, no? Inutos niya kay Noah, at si Noah naman, assistant niya, yung kanyang mga anak at asawa at yung mga daughters-in-law niya. And then dito sa Genesis chapter 7, yung mga clean animals, ang bilang ay 7. Pero yung mga unclean, usually mga carnivorous animals yon, ano lang, 2 each of animals, a male and a female. Also 7 each of birds of the air. 7 naman. Pag isang lahi na, ba, isang pelican, 7. Pero pag yung land animals na unclean, dapat ay a pair lang. Pag sinasabing clean animals, yung chudakad, no? Like the gazelle, deer, cow, sheep, mga ganon. Ram. At yung water, umulan, 40 days and 40 nights, purging. So after 7 days na nandun na sa loob ng ark yung mga animals, sinara ni Almighty Father yun. Yung ark, si Almighty Father nag-sealed ng Noah's Ark. So, kung gusto nyo makita yung Noah's Ark, nandun sa Mount Ararat. Yung Mount Ararat, nandun yun sa Turkey. Nag-petrify na. So, sobrang tagal ng panahon. Kahit wood siya, humalo na siya sa bato, no? Pag yun ang ibig sabihin na nag-petrify na. So yung flood on the earth was 40 days. Umulan, 40 days and 40 nights. Tapos yung flood, 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. So kahit na yung pinakamataas na mountain dito sa mundo, ang sabi, ang pinakamataas na mountain is Mount Everest, lagpas dun yung water. So yung mga ibang animals na hindi nakasama sa ark, tumatakbo sila papunta sa highest point, no, ng lupa. Pero hindi, kahit na pumunta pa sila sa highest point ng lupa, buong mundo kasi punong-puno ng tubig, kaya malulunod din sila. Kahit na yung mga tao magtakbuhan sila, kung saan man sila magpunta sa caves, wala ring mangyayari. Damay din yung mga Nephilim. Pero nakita naman natin na sa book of Samuel, 1 Samuel, may nakalaban na giant si David, and the giant was Goliath. May lahing Nephilim yun. Hindi natin alam kung alin sa mga asawa ng anak ni Noah ang may lahing Nephilim, pero ang lahi ng ni Goliath was a Philistine. Kung Philistine siya, ang lahi nun ay lahi ni Ham. Ham, Cushite, no? Dark ang skin. So, the mountains were covered and all flesh died. Lahat ng humihinga sa ilong namatay. Except those who were in the ark. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. 150 days yung tubig. It's a time of purging. Dito tayo sa Genesis chapter 8. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him in the ark. Naalala ni Almighty Father, and God made a wind to pass over the earth and the waters subsided. So nagsubside na yung water unti-unti. Meron ng hangin. So yung hangin na yon, dinadala na yung tubig papunta na sa dagat at pumapasok na rin sa ilalim. Kasi nga, yung paggawa ni Almighty Father sa earth, above and below water, di ba? Nagkaroon lang ng firmament. Kaya covered tayo ng water, no? According sa Bible, at mas maniniwala ako dito sa Bible, kumpara sa mga itinuturo ng mga tao na wala namang basihan, science. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin science? Experimentation and through observation. Mali ang pagkaka-obserba nila, mali ang kanilang philosophy. Dahil yung philosophy nila galing yun sa mga Greeks, na ang originally ang philosophy naman ay galing talaga kay Solomon. It was twisted by the devil. So yung math, yung science, mga philosophy yan. Doon nag-umpisa lahat. And then yung law, sa nag-umpisa, kay Almighty Father galing lahat ng law. Kaya nga may law na hindi tayo dapat na magpatay o magnakaw. It's because it's the Almighty Father's law. Sa Kanya galing lahat ng law. So even the divorce, kay Almighty Father galing. Walang makakaisip ng mga magagandang bagay dahil tayo, wicked tayo na tao. Kaya magagandang bagay si Almighty Father nag-isip nun. Siya nagbigay sa atin nun. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth and waters subsided. The fountains of the deep, mga fountains, no, yung geyser. And the windows of heaven were also stopped. Nag-stop na yung pag-rain. And the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters receded continually from the earth. Nawala na yung tubig. Unti-unting bumababa na. Di ba hanggang mountain yon, yung water. Lagpas ng mountain. Bumababa na. Kaya sometimes yung mga archaeologists, nakakakita sila ng mga shells sa mountain. Paano nagkaroon ng mga shells sa mountain? Ang taas-taas ng mountain, bakit may shells doon? It's because there was a time that the Almighty Father had the earth flooded, the whole earth. Kaya sometimes meron ding mga petrified animals na mga parang mga isda sa mga mountains. Naiwan yung mga isda na yon. Nag-petrify na sila. And the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters receded continually from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the waters decreased. "150 days, nabawasan na yung tubig. Then the ark rested in the 7th month, the 17th day of the month, on the mountains of Ararat." So kung i-check nyo ngayon yung Ararat sa YouTube, i-search nyo yung Noah's Ark, nandun makikita ninyo. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, 10th month. So kung 10th month, yun ay sa Gregorian calendar, it's December, no? The 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. Nakita na yung tuktok ng mountain. Yung mga tuktok ng mountain, merong snow. Bakit may snow yung tuktok ng mountain? Diba yung tuktok ng mountain, malapit yun sa sun? Pero bakit yung tuktok ng mountain mas snow? Bakit? Diba naka-expose naman yung tuktok ng mountain? Kagaya ng mga Swiss Alps, yung naka-expose naman sa sun yung tuktok ng mountain. Pero bakit merong snow yung tuktok ng mountain kahit na hindi naman nag-snow? Bakit malamig sa may mountain? Di ba pag mountain, malapit yon sa sun kasi mataas? Pakisagot nga. Bakit may snow? Bakit malamig sa tuktok sa may mountain? Ay malapit yun sa sun, dapat mainit doon. Pero bakit malamig? Akala ko ba yung mga malalamig na bagay or malamig na hangin, dense yon, mabigat. So pero bakit sa tuktok malamig? Design ni Almighty Father yon kasi nga ano ang nasa Book of Genesis? May firmament, no? Water, and then nahati. May water sa ibabaw, may water sa ilalim. Kaya malamig yung itaas. Nagkaroon ng snow. Naintindihan? Hindi ba kayo tatanong noon? Hindi nyo naisip yun? And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. May window kasi yung ark. Binuksan yung window ni Noah at the end of 40 days. And then he sent out a raven which kept going to and fro until the waters had dried up from the earth. So yung may ibon, pinalabas niya sa window, no? Yung raven, unang pinalabas. So lipad-lipad lang yung raven. He also sent out from himself a dove to see if the waters had receded from the face of the ground. Para i-check kung meron mga nakalitaw na lupa. Kaya dove naman ang pinalabas niya sa window. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of her foot. And she returned into the ark to him. Bumalik yung dove. Wala siyang tapakan. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth, so he put out his hand and took her. So palipad-lipad lang yung dove. Ngayon, dahil nga wala puntahan yung dove, bumalik ulit yung dove kay Noah, at inilabas ni Noah yung kanyang kamay ng gano'n at dumapo sa kanya yung dove. And drew her into the ark to himself. Pinasok niya ulit yung dove. And he waited yet another 7 days, 1 week naman, and again he sent the dove out from the ark. Pinalabas niya ulit yung dove to check. Then the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, bumalik yung dove, gabi na, and behold, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in her mouth. So kauna-unahan na leaf or plant na nakuha or dahon ay dahon ng olive or olive tree. So may umuusbong na kasi kahit na yung mga puno nasira. 'Di ba pag nagbabaha kahit puno sira? Sometimes na-uproot sila. Ngayon, ang puno kasi ng olive tree, kahit na ma-uproot ka, malalim yon, no? Hindi agad-agad natitinag yung olive tree. Kahit na namatay yung tree na yon, pinutol mo yung olive tree na yon, tutubo uli siya. And no one knew that the waters had receded from the earth. So dinami-dami ng mga plants and trees, olive tree. Alam na natin na yung olive, yung oil nun, it's for anointing. Verse 12, so he waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove. So pagbalik ng dove, may olive, leaf na. Ngayon, pinalabas na niya after 7 days, which did not return again to him anymore. Hindi na bumalik yung dove. Nag-stay na siya sa labas. May nakuha na siyang lugar para kung saan siya magpa-perch, no? Verse 13. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month. And it came to pass in the 601st year, the first month, the first day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth. Meron ng dry land. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked. So may covering yon, yung pinto, no? Binuksan niya yung pinto, ng konti lang, tinignan niya. And indeed, the surface of the ground was dry. So pag dry na yung ground, nag-stop na rin yung, hindi na nakaangat yung ark. Nakababa na siya sa ground. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried. Dry na. Wala na. Wala na mga tao, wala na mga animals. Walang puno. Parang barren. Pero tumutubo na yung mga grass, tumutubo na rin yung mga trees, although maliliit pa lang, no? Hindi agad-agad na malaki, maliliit pa lang, patubo pa lang. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, go out of the ark, you and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Lumabas na kayo ng ark. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you. Ilabas nyo na yung mga animals. Birds and cattle and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may be abound on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. Para dumami sila, palabasin mo na sila. Or protected the Almighty Father. Bakit the Almighty Father, He protected the animals? It's for us. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife, and his sons and his wives with him, every animal, every creeping thing. So yung mga giant na durog na rin sila kasi nga maraming panahon, no? Ilang days yon, nalunod sila. Asa na yung kanilang mga bodies? Kinain na syempre ng mga sea creatures. So, hindi na rin mabaho. Kasi baka isip nyo, baka baho, ang daming mga animals na patay, ang daming mga tao na nalunod, malalaki pa naman din yon. Wala na, kinain na rin, no? Naging feed for the sea creatures. Every animal, every creeping thing, every bird, and whatever creeps on the earth, according to their families, went out of the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord. Gumawa si Noah ng altar para kay Almighty Father, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird. Ano ba yung mga clean bird? Pigeon and dove, no? And offered burnt offerings on the altar. Ang clean animal, mga cattle and sheep. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Naamoy ni Almighty Father. And then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake. Hindi ko na ulit gagawin na isumpa ang lupa dahil sa tao. Although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Simula pa sa pagkabata, evil na ang kanyang heart, ang tao. Nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. Hindi ko na ulit gagawin na sirain lahat ng mga every living thing na aking ginawa. Sabi ni Almighty Father. Promise ni Almighty Father ito. Ngayon baka itanong ninyo, bakit sa Book of Revelation maraming mga tao mamamatay? Yes. Pero, hindi lahat. Dahil yung iba, mapupunta yun kay Almighty Father. Nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. Mapupunta kay Almighty Father. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. Promise ni Almighty Father. The earth remains. Seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. Promise ni Almighty Father. Ngayon, yung sa Genesis chapter, saan nga ba yun? Yung sa Genesis chapter 2 sa Garden of Eden. Balikan natin Sino ba kauso ko lang? Balikan mo, Iska. Babalikan ko. Bakit? Genesis 3. Hindi mismo yung snake nakalagay kasi rito, di ba? Yung serpent, ito ay Leviathan or naging dragon. Lumaki, di ba? Ito yung serpent. Ito yung devil. Okay? Ginamit ng devil yung serpent. He possessed the serpent. Kaya yung serpent ngayon, nawalan siya ng maliit na paa. Naging vestigial. Naging undeveloped. Pero yung sinasabing kalaban ng dito, yung enmity between man and her seed. Verse 15, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Ito yung wickedness. Not necessarily the snake that we see. Sinisimbolize nito, yung verse 15, yung tao at yung devil. Ha? Yung kaaway natin ang devil. Kaya nga yung mga wicked spirit, kunyari gusto kanila. Kunyari imamanipula kanila, magbibigay sila ng kasinungalingan. Kunyari, hindi kasi tama yan. Pagdating mo sa impyerno, maganda sa impyerno. Yun ang kasinungalingan ng demonyo, no? Pero paninira yun. Kasi nga, merong tayong gap or meron tayong kaaway. Sino yung kaaway natin? Ang kaaway natin, yung nag-possess sa serpent. Yung devil, yun ang kaaway natin. Sino ang pumatay kay Jesus Christ? People who were possessed by the devil. Yung mga tao na hindi ka makakagawa ng isang masama kung hindi ka possessed ng devil. So kaya nga nakalagay dito, and I will put enmity between you and the woman. Sino yung nagsisimbolize ng woman dito? Ang woman ay ang mundo. So, ang mundo, kalaban natin ay ang devil. And between your seed and her seed, ang devil, pati yung mga tao na nakatira sa mundo. He shall bruise your head. Ha? Kaaway natin kasi yung devil. And you shall bruise his heel. Sino yung magbubruise ng heel? Yung serpent or yung devil na possessed, no? Sinasaktan niya yung mga tao. Yun ang ibig sabihin doon. Kasi ang serpent dito, he was, yung ahas dito, possessed by the devil. Ngayon, physically, yung serpent, nawalan siya ng appendage, no? Naging vestigial, pero naging metaphor dito sa verse 15. Dahil nga, yung serpent was possessed by the devil. Kaya may away ngayon. Hindi yung ahas na nakikita natin sa labas. Kasi sometimes yung ahas inaalagaan ng mga tao, no? Kagaya nga ng mga creeping thing dito sa pinapasok ni Almighty Father dun sa ark, yung mga snake kasama dun. Which means to say, maayos yung snake na yun, pero may mga snake na nangangagat, diba? At may mga traidor. Ngayon, ang sinasabi dito na snake ay ang devil dahil itong snake, siya ay Leviathan. Lumaki siya under the sea, Leviathan. And sa Book of Revelation, naging dragon siya. Siya yung devil. No? Naintindihan na natin? Malalim pala ibig sabihin nito. Kaya dito sa Noah's Ark, meron din dito pinasok na mga snakes. Kasi kung galit si Almighty Father sa mga snakes, hindi na niya papapasukin sa Noah's Ark. Hayaan na niya na mamatay sa tubigan, no? Or sa flood. Pero, hinayaan niya pumasok yung mga snakes. Tinawag niya para maprotektahan at makakatulong sa ecology. Kasi it's a cycle ng buhay. Importante yung mga animals para sa tao at sa environment. Ay, hindi nakakaintindi. Kasi nga konektado to, ha? Kaya nga inuna ni Almighty Father yung may process kung paano niya ginawa ang mundo. Kasi nga konektado. Kaya may process. Kaya si Almighty Father, nag-promise siya while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. Hindi na niya sisirain ang mundo na totally annihilation, no? Hindi na gano'n na mangyari. Kaya nga sa Book of Revelation, ang mag-i-inherit ng mundo na to, lilinisin ulit ni Almighty Father, ang mag-i-inherit ng mundo na to ay ang kanyang mga anak. Ibababa niya ang New Jerusalem. Nasaan ang New Jerusalem? Saan ibababa? Kung nasaan yung Tree of Life. Nasaan ba yung Tree of Life? Nasa Paradise, nasa Eden. Asan ngayon ang Eden? Hindi natin malaman kung nasaan ang Eden. Kaya nga, hindi rin natin alam kung saan yung Almighty Father ibababa ang New Jerusalem dahil lilinisin niya ang mundo. Pero tatanggalin na niya yung water, no? Na nakikita natin sa Book of Revelation. Nabasa natin, di ba? Iska, nabasa natin, ano. So, dito tayo sa Genesis chapter 9. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Ito na naman. Punuin niyo yung mundo. Hindi niyo kailangan mag-family planning, responsible parenthood, or planned parenthood. Hindi niyo kailangan yun. Bakit? Sino nagsusupply ng lahat? Sino nagbibigay sa atin ng blessings? Sino ang gumawa ng mundo na to? Kaya we don't have to worry about anything because our Father, He's protecting us. He created us all things for us. Ngayon, yung mga tao na nananakot, nagkakaroon ng kaguluhan, nagkakaroon ng kadumihan, nagkakaroon ng lumiliit na yung mundo. Wala nang pagkain. Bakit nagkakaroon ng gano'n? It's because those people are wicked. They're the ones who are greedy. Sila nagpapakalat ng mga fake news. Akala ninyo hindi fake news, no? Kasi, mapagkakatiwala ang source to, nasa news to, malaking kumpanya to, malaking science to, malaking korporasyon to na nagsusupply. Hindi. Yung mga malalaking korporasyon, they are wicked, they are greedy. Puro pera sa kanila, gusto nila. Greedy sila. Malaking pera kasi ang tungkol sa health. So, konektado rin ang greediness, ang wickedness. Kaya ngayon, gusto nilang ibahin ang mundo. Gumawa sila ng agenda. Ito ang plano natin sa environment. Ito ang plano natin sa tao. Ito, lahat ng gender, kung ano man ang gusto nilang mangyari sa buhay ng gender, kahit na dumami pa ng 3 million kung ano man gender, that's mental illness. Ha? Hinihikayat ng mga tao, that's tinotolerate ng mga tao. Yung ganong mga weakness, yung mga ganong mga illness, mga mental illness, tinotolerate ng mga tao. Enabler, anong sabi sa Romans chapter 1? Pag ine-enable mo yung mga tao na gumawa ng kasalanan, perversion, that's a sin. Kahit hindi ko kasali, but you enable them, mapupunta ka sa impyerno. Ha? Ang utos ni Almighty Father, be fruitful and multiply. Hindi mo kailangan kwentahin natin ang population nito. Mukhang wala nang pagkain. Ang lawak ng mundo. Kinokontrol. Sino nagko-control? A small part of the world. Small number of people. Bakit? Yung mga small number of people na yon, they are the greedy ones. Kasi gusto nila sila mag-control ng mga pagkain. Sila ang angat sa lahat. Sila ang magkaroon ng power. Power, wealth, and fame. Para sila ang gawing Diyos ng mga tao. Yun ang gusto nila. Pero hindi mangyayari yun. Sisirain ni Almighty Father ang kanilang mga plano. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Idadagdag ko lang, no? Hindi eh. Kasi maganda ng technology natin ngayon. Malawak na. Kaya nga iniba ng mga may power kung paano mag-communicate ngayon ang tao. Iniba nila. Dati kahit yung telepono, walang electricity, kaya mong tumawag eh. Ngayon, pag walang electricity, hindi ka na makakatawag ng telepono. Ba't ganon? Sinira nila to control the people. Kaya galit si Almighty Father. Pero may time frame si Almighty Father. And yung mga tao naman naniniwala at sumusunod sa wickedness. That's why paparusahan din ng ni Almighty Father yung mga tao na sumusunod sa wickedness. But we as followers of Christ, we will have faith in our Father in Jesus Christ. Ano sabi ni Almighty Father? Come out of her, my people. Huwag kayo makipag-partake sa kanilang kasamaan, greediness, selfishness, wickedness. Be different. You are sojourners of this world. So dito tayo, Genesis chapter 9 verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand. So dominion, ibinigay sa tao. Hindi lang sa isang tao, hindi lang sa isang entity, hindi lang sa isang korporasyon, ibinigay lahat ng tao. Sama-sama tayo, i-share natin blessings of the Almighty Father. Huwag maging greedy. Ginawang negosyo, naging greedy na dahil nga gustong, hindi, kailangan magkaroon ako ng power. Kailangan ako ang nagko-control ng bigas. Ako nagko-control ng mga sibuyas. Ayan, magkakaroon na naman ng holiday season kayo. May magko-control na naman dyan ng asukal, ng bawang, sibuyas, kamatis, no? Yung mga businessman na naman dyan, lagot kayo kay Almighty Father. Sasabihin na naman ninyo, hindi, tataas ang presyo. Kinokontrol nyo yung presyo, kaya tumataas. Ha? Kunyari, may kakulangan, pero wala naman. Peke, ang ginagawa ninyo, ay kulang ang sibuyas, kaya magmamahal ang sibuyas. Ginagawa nyo yung peke. Pero pagkita kayo ng Almighty Father, lagot kayo kay Almighty Father. Masyadong yung inaabuso ang mga mahihirap. Kahit pa sabi mong Christian ka, nang-aabuso ka, may negosyo ka, pero inaabuso mo yung kapwa-tao mo. Christian ka ba matatawag nun? Ano nga ang fruits of the Holy Spirit? Love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. If you don't have those things, you don't have the fruits of the Holy Spirit, hindi ka follower of Jesus Christ. Peke ka. Verse 3 of Genesis chapter 9. Nakikita ninyo, kahit na nasa Genesis tayo, nababanggit natin si Jesus Christ. Bakit? Kasi konektado. Konektado yung buong Bible. Yung goodness ni Almighty Father, all throughout the Bible, makikita natin, and all throughout our lives, applicable yung goodness ni Almighty Father, at kaya niya pinadala sa Jesus Christ to save us dahil tayo, wicked tayo, hindi natin kaya ang sarili natin. Kaya pinadala niya si Jesus Christ to be an example for us, na pwede naman palang mabuhay sa mundo na to na parang si Jesus Christ. Gayahin natin si Jesus Christ. Pwede, kasi akala ng mga tao hindi pwede mabuhay dahil wicked ang mundo na to, sama-sama tayo magpaka-wicked. Si Jesus Christ, nag-example siya, pwedeng mabuhay sa mundo na ito, na susundin si Almighty Father. That's why Jesus Christ, the name above all names, and His name is exalted on high by the Almighty Father. Pinatunayan ni Jesus Christ na kahit na may body siya, son of man siya, nabuhay siya sa mundo na ito na hindi siya nagkasala. And so we will anchor our faith in Jesus Christ. Dahil kung nasa hearts natin si Jesus Christ, we will be saved. Just like the man who was with him, who was crucified on the cross with Jesus Christ, no? Naniwala kay Jesus Christ. Anong sabi ni Jesus Christ? Today you will be with me in paradise. Verse 3, no? Genesis chapter 9. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. Lahat ibinigay ko sa inyo. Provided by our good Father, everything. Lahat na ng kailangan ninyo, ibinigay ko na sa inyo. Ano pa ba ang kulang? Yung pagmamahal ko sa inyo, sobra-sobra. Ano pa ba ang gusto ninyo? Gustong sabihin ni Almighty, ano pa ba ang gusto ninyo? Andiyan na lahat, pati si Jesus. Ano pa ang gusto ninyo? Bakit ayaw din yung tumigil lang, gumawa ng kadumihan? Binigay ko na sa inyo lahat. Higit sa lahat, kamukha ko kayo. We were created by God in His image and likeness. Tuloy natin, ano? So, lahat pwedeng kainin. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Every moving thing that lives. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs. Except, of course, people. Dahil that's cannibalism, that's murder. Alam natin na bawal ang murder. Hindi tama ang murder. Anong first murder na nangyari? Si Cain tsaka si Abel. Cain killed his brother. Okay? I have given you all things, even as the green herbs, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. Sabi ni Almighty Father, and that's in the Old Covenant. No? Pag may dugo, tanggalin mo yung dugo. Kasi blood symbolizes life. Surely for your life, blood will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Kaya nga si Jesus Christ, He died on the cross, and His precious blood is priceless. Sinakop na ni Jesus Christ. Yung kasalanan natin na dapat tayo mismo ang mamamatay, hindi na. Si Jesus Christ na ang namatay, and His precious blood is for us to be clean. Yung blood ni Jesus Christ nakakapaglinis sa atin na ating mga kasalanan. Kaya nga dito nakalagay, surely for your life, blood will I demand, or I will demand a reckoning. Merong reckoning. Ano ba yung reckoning? Kailangan may kapalit. For the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. So, since dumating na si Jesus Christ, hindi na life of man. Sino na? Si Jesus Christ na. Dinemand na. Si Jesus Christ na. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Si Jesus Christ na. Hindi na tayo. Naintindihan natin? Naintindihan mo Iska? Naintindihan ako. Sinasabi ko. Nakakaintindi ka yung sinasabi ko. Verse 3, whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. Kaya nga, di ba? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Pag pumatay ka ng tao, papatayin ka rin, meron ka rin responsibility. By man his blood shall be shed. Dapat mamatay din siya. Pero hindi na ganito ang kailangan dahil kay Jesus Christ. Okay? Naiba nung dumating si Jesus. Siya na. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. Pag nakapatay ka ng tao, dapat patayin ka rin. Pero tayo ngayon, nakakapatay tayo ng tao sa paningin lang, or sa isip lang, or sa pananalita, nakakapatay tayo ng tao. Pero napapatawad tayo sa kasalanan natin. Even yung mga tao nakakapatay ng kapwa-tao, physically or literally, napapatawad ni Almighty Father. Why? It's because of Jesus Christ. Magtitiwala tayo sa name ni Jesus Christ. Tingnan nyo, na ipapasok ulit natin si Jesus Christ. Why? It's because of the blood of Jesus Christ. It's precious, it's priceless. Konektado sa book of Genesis, si Jesus Christ. Bakit hindi tapa pumatay ng tao? For man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God he made man. Kamukha natin yung tatay natin. Kaya hindi tayo dapat pumatay ng tao. Sometimes namimintas tayo ng tao. Kasalanan ko rin yun. Namimintas din ako ng tao. And I apologize to my father. Hindi dapat mamintas ng tao. Dahil pag binintasan natin yung tao, pinipintasan na rin natin yung tatay natin. For in the image of God, He made man. Tandaan natin yan, ano? Para hindi tayo mamintas ng kapwa-tao natin. Dahil yung tao, gawa sa wangis, kamukha ni Almighty Father. Kaya hindi dapat natin pintasin dahil pag pinintas natin ang tao, pinintasan na rin natin ang ating tatay. Verse 7, and as for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply it. Be fruitful. Ano ba yung fruitful? Hindi lang ikaw magpapadami ng lahi mo. Anong fruitful? Fruits of the Holy Spirit, love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. Ipakalat mo yung magandang fruits na yon. At magpadami kayo. Yung mga magagandang mga traits, ituro mo sa mga tao, i-share mo sa mga tao. Nang sa ganun sila rin maging fruitful. Maganda yung kanilang upbringing. Dumami sila at yung kanilang upbringing, maganda. Kilala si Almighty Father. May takot sa Diyos. Remorseful of sins. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng fruitful. Verse 8, then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants. Meron akong kontrata sa iyo. Sabi ni Almighty Father, kontrata ako sa iyo at sa iyong mga anak. Sabi ni Almighty Father. Hindi lang sa kay Ham, Shem, and Japheth, kundi descendants sa seeds, no? And as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seeds or descendants after you. Kahit na wala ka na dito, yung mga descendants mo, meron akong kontrata sa kanila. And with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. May kontrata. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall never again shall all flesh be cut off by waters of the flood. Hindi na mangyayari na mamamatay sa paglubog ang mundo ng tubig. Baka sabihin niyo, bakit may mga tao na namamatay sa calamities na lumubog ang isang lugar o lumubog yung barko? Iba yon. Ang sinasabi ni Almighty Father to, buong mundo, no? Just like what happened nung time ni Noah, as in buong mundo, walang land na natira. Even the animals, wala. Mga birds, wala. Ngayon, may natira naman na birds, may natira naman na tao, di ba? Kaya ito sinasabi ni Almighty Father, ito yung great flood. Hindi na magkakaroon ng great flood. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall be a flood to destroy the earth. Ngayon may mga chika-chika. Magkakaroon doon ng malaking sisirain ang mundo, malulubog sa tubig ang mundo. Merong mga movies na ginawa na walang land, puro water lang. Anong movie na yun? Waterworld ba yun? Puro tubig lang pero walang land. Hindi mangyayari yun. Kasi sinabi na ni Almighty Father, promise niya to. Covenant niya. Treaty, a pact, a contract. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every creature or every living creature that is with you for perpetual generation. Naintindihan naman yung perpetual generation, di ba? Perpetual for all eternity na to. Walang end. Perpetual generations. Yung covenant na yon, pati na yung mga animals, pati na sa mga tao. I set my rainbow in the cloud. Ito na yung promise ni Almighty Father. May rainbow si Almighty Father sa cloud. Originally, ang rainbow, gawa ni Almighty Father. Hindi to para sa mga third sex, fourth sex, fifth sex, transgender, yung rainbow. The rainbow was made by our Father as a promise for us that never again will He made the earth, or that never again will He destroy the earth by flood. Yan ang rainbow. Ha? Kasi yung society natin, sinisira ang rainbow. Ginagawa nilang symbol ng kanilang gender. I-explain ko lang kung bakit nila ginawang symbol yung rainbow. Kasi makulay daw ang kanilang buhay. Sabi ng mga LGBT, ABCD, XYZ, makulay daw ang kanilang buhay. No, yung life nila hindi makulay. It's darkness. Hindi makulay ang kanilang buhay. It's pure darkness because evilness yon, lies of the devil. Hindi makulay ang kanilang buhay. Ngayon itong rainbow na to, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Ito, pag chinek mo sa prism, lumalabas to. Bakit nagkakaroon ng rainbow? Dahil nga, it's a firmament. Firmament yung mundo natin. Kaya, pag ganun yung rainbow, pag ganun, di ba yung rainbow? Kasi nga, ang mundo na to, it's a dome. Dome. Naintindihan niyo yung dome? Yung earth, ganyan. Na unang-una, sa Genesis chapter 1, puno-puno ng water. Nagkaroon ng firmament, naghiwalay ang water above and water below. So, nagkaroon ng dome ngayon dito. Kaya yung rainbow, pag gano'n ng korte, tumatama doon yung sun. Pag tama ng sun doon, lumalabas yung kulay na rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So, yung ibang mga nakasali sa mga transgender, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, gender, ang kulay lang ng rainbow, 7. Nilagpasan nyo yung kulay ng rainbow. So, hindi kayo rainbow. Huwag nyo gawing kalokohan nyo na hindi kayo rainbow. Nilagpasan nyo yung number ng kulay ng rainbow. 7 lang ang number ng rainbow. Ilang gender meron kayo? Umabot kayo saan? Hundreds. Ilan ang color ng rainbow? 7, di ba? So, hindi kayo yun, Yung rainbow, it's created by the Almighty Father as a promise for His children that never again will He destroy earth by flood. And why is it 7? 7 is a complete number. Ha? 7 is a complete number. Huwag kayong makulit. Hindi na lang makulit. Sinisira nyo ang rainbow. Pinapakita nyo sa mga bata yan, rainbow, oh. Kasi iba-iba ka ng gender, di ba? Ano ka, pansexual, asexual, genesexual, mga ganyang sexual. Mental illness yon. Hindi nyo matanggap. And you want people to accept you. Those people who are confused. You want people to accept you, but you cannot accept yourselves. Ano yung gender that was assigned to you at birth? Di ba yun ang sabi na, the gender that was assigned to me at birth? Sino nag-assign sa'yo ng gender? Di ba si Almighty Father? If inassign sa'yo ang gender na yun, bakit hindi yun ang gawin mong gender? Yun ang inassign sa'yo. Bakit iniiba mo? It's a test for us. Susundin ba ng anak ko to? O hindi? Lahat. It's a test for us. Para makabalik tayo sa Kanya. Yung gender ko, anong meron tayo dito, is not the end all and be all. Yung mga bagay dito sa mundo, it's just temporary. At alam ko kung bakit gusto nyo ng iba-iba kayo ng gender. It's because what? Lust of the flesh. Yun naman na talaga eh. Ha? Nanggigigil ako. Lust of the flesh yun. Hindi yun love. Iba ang love sa lust of the flesh. Kaya gusto nyo ng iba-ibang gender. Because love. Hindi yan love. Lust yan. I-add ko lang I-add ko lang. Yung mga tao that they say that they're confused of their gender, or they were born on a different body na hindi nila kanilang body yon, isip nila hindi nila body yon. Most of them, they were abused when they were kids. Yes, you were abused. Hindi mo lang matanggap sa sarili mo, hindi mo lang isasabi sa mga tao dahil nahihiya ka. You were abused when you were a kid. Abused by a parent, your parents, or anyone who knows, or anyone who knew you. In-abuse ka dahil bata ka. Yung tao na yung nag-abuse sa'yo, demonic entity yun. Possessed by the devil yun. Ngayon kung mabubuhay ka ng kagaya niya, possessed by the devil ka na rin. Nailipat sa'yo. Naging twisted yung mind mo. Balik tayo sa rainbow. Rainbow is a promise of the Almighty Father that He will never destroy earth again by flood. That's the true meaning of rainbow. Ang ganda-ganda ng rainbow, sinira ninyo. Sinira ng mga mahilig sa kasinungalingan, sa lies of the devil. Twisted by the devil. And it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Covenant yan, yung rainbow. Covenant ni Almighty Father. Ngayon, hindi kayo naniniwala kay Almighty Father, pero sa rainbow naniniwala kayo. Well, I'm sorry, but the rainbow, it's a covenant between the Almighty Father and the earth. I'm not sorry, but because it's the truth, no? Kakalungkot lang. Gusto niyang mamuhay sa kasinungalingan. And some of you who grew up without parents, who grew up without a mother, or who grew up without a father, there's still hope. There's still hope. You must just humble ourselves before our Father and believe in Jesus Christ. And we will be healed. Dahil kung ano man ang meron sa inyo, it's mental illness, it's a sickness. Ang kasalanan, sickness din yan. Jesus is our healer. Yung pain natin na naramdaman, He will heal us. Hindi lang ikaw ang nasaktan, lahat tayo dito sa mundo. Kaya huwag mong sabing, ako lang nasaktan, ako lang nagkaganito. No. Don't be selfish. Don't be self-centered. The Almighty Father said, refine the silver is refined, tested in silver, tested in gold, no? Refine the silver is refined, tested in gold. A third of the total population of the world since the world began. Verse 14, and it shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. Kaya tuwan-tuwa ako pag nakakakita ko ng rainbow. Naalala ko si Almighty Father. Pinapaalala sa atin ni Almighty Father's goodness that He will not destroy earth again by flood. Our Father is good. Kaya ang ganda ng rainbow, di ba? Pag tinignan mo, ang ganda-ganda. Miracle yon. Hindi nakikita ng tao. Nakikita nyo lang na rainbow pero hindi nyo naisip na miracle yon. It's a miracle. Even the sun, it's a miracle. May sun tayo. It's a miracle. Meron tayong water. Meron tayong river. That's a miracle. Miracle of the Almighty Father. Meron tayong mga puno. That's a miracle of the Almighty Father. Iba-iba ang mga animals. Meron. That's a miracle of the Almighty Father. Kamukha natin yung tatay natin. It's a miracle. Ito bang itsura ko? It's a miracle. Ito ang itsura ko. We must be grateful to our Father because of His great love for us. Balik tayo, no? I will remember a covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. Magtatanong naman kayo, bakit may flood naman sa ibang lugar? Hindi naman buong mundo ang may flood. Okay? Kaya naman nagkakaroon ng flood, yung ibang mga lugar, gawa ng tao, greediness and selfishness. Alam naman natin, di ba, na may nagnakaw ng funds to, to construct mga flood funds ba tawag doon para makapag-construct ng mga mga malalalim na tubo sa ilalim ng lupa para doon dadaan yung flood, yung mga flood water doon dadaan, or yung rain water doon dadaan. Anong ginawa? Ninakaw nila. Yaman na nila. And the Almighty Father will punish them. And also, kaya natin na-experience ng flood, it's because it's a punishment for us also. Because we're not calling on Him. We don't trust our Father. Kaya tayo, pinaparusahan ng Almighty Father. It's punishment of the Almighty Father. For worshiping other gods. Worshiping wooden images. Worshipping molded images, worshipping carved images. Punishment of the Almighty Father. May sabihin, ba't yung pinasok yung idolatry? Ba't pinasok ko na may idolatry? Konektado. Hindi tayo tapos sa verse 15, ulitin ko ulit. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. So si Almighty Father, nakikita niya rin yung rainbow. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. So pag may umuulan, nagkakaroon ng rainbow, nakikita ni Almighty Father. Naaalala niya yung great flood, at naaalala niya na hindi na niya sisirain ang mundo using the great flood. Verse 17. And God said to Noah, this is a sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. So, covenant yon, promise. It's a contract. May kontrata tayo. Yan, sign yan. Yung rainbow, sign yan. Hindi na magkakaroon ng great flood. Hindi na papatayin lahat ng animals and man on earth. Kontrata yan. Pag nakita mo, Noah, pag nakita ng mga anak mo, Noah, yung rainbow na yan, kontrata ko yan sa mga anak ko whom I created. In my image and likeness, sabi ni Almighty Father. Verse 18, now, the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Ham was the father of Canaan. Si Ham, dark-skinned siya, no? So, yung mga Canaanites sa kanya galing. Kaya yung mga Canaanites, dark-skinned din. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these, the whole earth was populated. Dumami ulit yung tao because of these three men. And Noah began to be a farmer. And then he drank of the wine and was drunk and became uncovered in his tent. So, nung time na to si Noah, lumabas na siya ng ark, diba? Nagkaroon na ng rainbow. And then, naging farmer na siya, nagtanim na siya ng vineyard. Siyempre, pag may vineyard ka, meron ka mga grapes doon, maraming grapes kasi konti lang sila, tapos ang daming grapes. So, ang ginawa niya sa grapes, syempre, itinabi niya, and then, after some time, naging wine, no? Masarap, matamis. And he was drunk and became uncovered in his tent. Dahil nalalasing siya. Mag-isa lang kasi siya. Ininom niya yung kanyang wine. Dahil nga, wala nga tao. Sila lang ang tao. Marunong na siyang gumawa ng wine nun. Kasi nga, before naman na magkaroon ng great flood, may mga tao na noon na gumagawa na rin ng wine. So, alam niya kung paano gumawa ng wine, ha? Dahil nga, walang ref nun. Tapos, merong mga grapes. Anong gagawin mo sa grapes? Ang daming grapes nito, ha? O, itatabi niya ngayon, tapos nabulok, tapos nag-ferment. And then, pag na-ferment, na-ferment, ano ba ang lasa nito? Sarap to, matamis to, pero parang may tama to, So, yan, he became drunk. Became uncovered in his tent. Dahil nga, drunk siya, hindi na niya alam ang kanyang ginawa. Dahil nga, mag-isa lang siya. Nasobrahan siya ng inom. Wala siyang kasamang kainuman, siya lang. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw that the nakedness of his father and told his brothers outside. Pinagtawanan ni Ham yung kanyang tatay. So may anak na siya dito, si Ham. Ang anak niya si Canaan. Nakita niya yung kanyang tatay, nakahubad. Hindi natin alam kung anong ginawa niya sa tatay niya. At sinabi niya, chinismis niya sa kanyang mga kapatid, oy, si tatay, tingnan mo, nakahubad. O, bakit nagalit si Almighty Father? Walang respeto sa tatay. Ang gusto ni Almighty Father, may respeto sa tatay. Kung sa tatay mo wala kang respeto, how much more kay Almighty Father na hindi mo nakikita? Gets? Kaya nga dito, in Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment. Si Shem, no, yung panganay, tsaka si Japheth, yung bunso, took a garment and laid it on both their shoulders. So may garment sila, malaking tela. Siyempre yung tela, gawa yun sa sheep or leather, tunic, no? Skin, garment. Hanggang shoulders nila, dadala nila hanggang shoulders. So, para hindi nila makita, para naka-cover yung hindi nila dapat makita, naka-cover. Laid on both their shoulders and went backward. At patalikod pa silang naglakad, papunta sa tatay nila. May takip na nga sila ng ganon, patalikod pa sa kanila. So, hindi talaga nila makikita dahil mataas na yung kanilang hawak ng garment, patalikod pa sila, went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Siyempre, pag backward tapos gaganon, natakba na ba natin? Hindi, iusod mo pa, usod sa tingin ko parang usod pa natin, ganon. And went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away and they did not see their father's nakedness. It's respect, no? Respeto sa tatay. At mahal ni Almighty Father si Noah. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Nagising si Noah. Alam niya, pinagtawanan siya ng kanyang anak. Alam niya na naked siya, pinagtawanan siya ng kanyang anak. Hindi natin alam kung paano niya nalaman na pinagtawanan siya ng kanyang anak, kung paano siya pinastos ng kanyang anak. Ganun na lang ang galit niya sa kanyang anak. Ha? Sobrang galit niya sa kanyang anak. That he cursed his grandson. Hindi si Ham ang kanyang kinurse, kundi yung kanyang grandson, si Canaan. Sobrang galit niya. Hindi natin alam kung bakit sobrang galit, no? Sobrang galit eh. Kasi kung nakita mo lang ng hubad at pinagtawanan mo, hindi natin alam kung anong ginawa ni Ham, kung ichinismis ba niya, kung ano pang mga bagay na ginawa niya. Kasi sobrang galit itong si Noah. Then he said, "Cursed be Canaan." Si Canaan anak ni Ham. Instead na si Ham ang kanyang i-curse, si Canaan yung kanyang apo. A servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. So ngayon, may Canaanites. Yung mga Egyptians, lahi sila ng Canaanites. Yung mga nandun sa part ng South Africa, Nigeria, mga lahi yon ni Canaan. Yung Egypt, lahi yon ni Cush, Canaan din yon. A servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. Ngayon, servant of servants. Ang ano ang mga third world countries? Napapansin niyo ba yung mga third world countries? Usually, ano ang kanilang kulay ng kanilang skin? Yung mga third world countries. Yun ang mga lahi ni Canaan. Lahi ni Ham. Sino usually ang mga nakaka-invento? Si Uzziah naka-invent yung mga kasama niya, di ba? So si Uzziah, lahi siya ni Shem. Sino ba yung mga naka-invento? Si Solomon, lahi rin ni Shem yan. Yung mga Arab nations, lahi rin siya ni Shem. Yung mga Turkish, lahi din siya ni Shem. Yung mga Greeks, Shemites din yon. Hindi nila alam. Yung sa Romania, sa Norway, yung dikit-dikit yun eh. Greece, pag ganun yun, no? Nakita niya ba sa mapa? Andali. Sa yung mapa. Asa ba yung mapa? Na mga country na dikit-dikit. Cyprus, Shemites din yun. Ha? Syria, Shemites din yan. Although a little bit of Canaanites. Turkey, Athens, Greece, Bulgaria, Shemites din yan. Macedonia, Shemites, Romania, Shemites din yan. Croatia, Shemites din yan. Slovenia, Switzerland, Shemites din yan. France, Shemites din yan. Ha? Ngayon, yung lahi naman ni Ham, or the Canaanites, mga Philistines, dark-skinned. Kaya nga yung kulay ng mga Israelites, sometimes dark, no? Sometimes light-skinned sila. Dahil nga, nahalo na sila sa mga Canaanites. Yung mga Egyptians, dark-skinned sila. Sudan, third world country, Chad. Yan. Ano pa ba? Ethiopia. Yan. Anak ni Ham or Canaanite sila. So, servants. Sometimes, nasa isip lang ng tao na servant sila. Asian countries, servants. Dahil may lahi tayo ni Ham. Kita naman, di ba? So, yung mga nakabahag. Okay. Nakabahag. Yung mga Chinese, ang suot nila, di ba? Mahahaba. Kapareho ng suot ng mga Shemites, mahahaba. Mahahaba, buo ang kanilang damit. Except the Egyptians, mga nakabahag, maliliit yung damit, no? Pero matatangkad sila kasi nga Nephilim. Okay? Matatangkad sila, di ba? At ngayon sila na ay basketball player. Okay? Ngayon, there are some dark-skinned people who say na servant na masyado silang sensitive. Sensitive sila eh. Ha? Tungkol sa kanil, parang ayaw nilang tigilan yung tungkol sa racism. Why? It's because of the curse of Noah. A servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. Ngayon, kahit hindi na sila servants, pero nasa isip nila servants pa rin sila in their minds. Kaya hindi sila makamove on. So, it's a curse. Kahit na sila ay mayaman, pero nasa isip nila servants sila na they were being pulled down by the society. Akala lang nila yon. Akala lang nila yon. Because, nasa mindset nila. Dahil, it's a curse. Naiintindihan natin. And usually, the inventors, they are the Shemites. German, Shemites yun. Mga British, Shemites sila, hindi nila alam. Mga Finnish or taga Finland, hindi nila alam, Shemites sila. Okay? Tapos yung mga Japhetites, doon sila nagpunta. Chinky-eyed, sama-sama sila ron, kasama nila yung Russia. Nakita niyo yung itsura ng Russia? May sometimes kamukha sila ng Chinese. O yung Japan and yung Korea, galing sila sa China. Ha? Nagkaroon lang sila ng sariling country, pero galing talaga sila sa China. Ngayon yung Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, 1 year in Thailand, yung mga ganon, kamukha natin, nakita naman natin skin natin, di ba? Malay race. At yung mga ninuno natin, they were wearing bahag, no? O yun, lahi ni Ham and Canaan. Balungkot, no? Lahi ni Ham and Canaan. Yung mga Indian nationals, mga Pakistani, Arab nation yun. Malapit lang yun dun. Kaya nakikita niyo yung itsura ng mga Pakistani, mga Indians, halos kamukha sila ng mga Middle Eastern at saka ng mga Israelites kasi nga, or Israeli, kasi nga yung shape ng kanilang face, no? Magkakamukha sila. Ang tangos ng ilong, ganon. Pero alam naman natin na pag lahi niya, no? Lahi ni Japheth, sometimes, kailangan pa natin ng surgery, no? Lungkot. Kaya, yung mga usually na nag-i-invent at nasa first world country, Shemites yon. Yung mga nasa third world countries, lahi ni Ham. Damay-damay, di ba? Effective pa rin. Although we are not slaves anymore, but meron tayong slave mentality. And sometimes, di ba, nagpupunta ng ibang country, yung mga brethren natin, to work as employees. Sino ang mga boss natin? Mga Chinese, di ba? Innovators. Nag-invent naman mga Shemites. Mga white people, nag-invent sila. iPhone, invent nila. Electricity. Nakikita na ninyo, di ba? Hindi ba ninyo nakikita? Verse 26. And he said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and make Canaan be his servant. Kaya nga nasa third world country tayo. Mas maganda yung lugar ni Shem. Britain, Switzerland, Norway, Romania, Italy, Spain, yun. Si Tesla, ano si Tesla? Hungarian yan. Nasa Croatia. Austro-Hungarian. Si Hitler hindi niya alam, Shemites din siya. Nakakalungkot. Pinatay niya yung kanyang kapwa, Shemites. Hindi niya alam. Hindi siya na-inform. Akala niya matalino na siya, pero hindi. Verse 27, may God enlarge Japheth, and may dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. Nangyayari, di ba? Asa na ngayon si Japheth? Enlarge Japheth. Ang daming population ng China. And may he dwell in the tents of Shem. Saan ngayon nagpupunta yung mga Chinese? Yung mga people in China, tsaka Korea and Japan. Saan sila nagpupunta? Nagpupunta sila sa Europe, di ba? At saka sa North America, di ba? Kasi nga, nakalagay dito, may God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem. Yung mga Mexicans or Latin Americans, Shemite sila. Yung mga ang tawag doon, yung mga Native Americans, they are Canaanites or lahi ni Ham. Yung mga Native Americans. Okay? And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. So, nung flood, 600 years si Noah. And then, he lived 350 years. So, that's 600 plus 350. 950. So, all the days of Noah were 950 years and he died. So, mas mahaba pa rin ang lifespan ni Methuselah, 969. Mas lamang si Methuselah ng 19 years compared kay Noah, who lived for 950 years. Genesis chapter 10. Now this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the sons were born to them after the flood. So after the flood, syempre, ilan lang sila ron sa ark? 6, 7, 8 lang sila sa ark, no? And then after nila paglabas ng ark, nagkaroon ng anak, yung tatlong magkakapatid. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog. Dito galing yung word na Magog, no? Si Japheth. Gomer, Magog, Madal, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tyras. And the sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz. Dito galing yung word na Ashkenaz Jew. Rephath and Togarma. And the sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim, or Rodanim. From these, the coastland peoples of the Gentiles were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. So, meron na sila sariling language nun. Kasi may mga bulol na rin nun. Ang hirap kaya magsalita. Nahihirapan ako. May mga bulol na rin nun, no? So, mga Gentiles na to, the Gentiles were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Saba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Sabteka. And the sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. So, yung mga Dedanites, no? At saka yung Queen of Sheba. Ito. Rama or Sheba. Doon galing yung Queen of Sheba na dumalaw kay King Solomon. So dark-skinned yung dumalaw kay King Solomon. Okay? Tsaka yung mga Dedanites. Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. Ito si Nimrod. Anak siya ni Cush, na from the lineage of Canaan, na galing kay Ham. So si Nimrod, he was dark-skinned. So kung makakakita kayo ng black person, malaki ang katawan, matangkad, ganun ang itsura ni Nimrod. Kasi siya ay mighty one on the earth, malakas siya. Usually, the people who are dark-skinned, they are physically strong. No? At talented sila physically. Ha? So, na-compensate naman yung kanilang talent. Yung mga people who are white, ang talent nila, usually sa brain, ano? At sa kanilang paggawa. While the people who are dark-skinned, usually hunter sila, malakas yung kanilang katawan, mabilis silang tumakbo, magaling silang kumanta. Yun ang kanilang talent. Ngayon, ang talent naman ng mga Japhetites, magaling naman silang talent na nyo dyan. Innovator. Magaling manggaya. Gumagawa ng mga fake na ang galing manggaya. Fake items, gumagawa sila. Like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of the kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Keilah, and Resen. Between Nineveh and Keilah, that is the principal city. Kaya nga the people in Syria, they are dark-skinned kasi lahi sila ni Ham. Galing sila kay Cush na doon din si Nimrod. Mizraim begot Lodim, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathroshim, and Cashlohim, from whom were the Philistines and Caphtorim. From whom came the Philistines and the Caphtorim. So, yung mga Philistines, dark-skinned din sila, gaya ng mga Syrians. Sa kanila galing yung napunta yung lahi ng mga giants. No? Kaya nga yung mga giants, dark-skinned sila, magagaling sila, mighty warrior. So nasa Bible sila, hindi nila alam. Pero si Jesus, gusto kasi lang maging dark-skinned si Jesus, no? Gusto lang maging black si Jesus. Pero hindi black si Jesus. He is from the lineage of Shem, hindi dark-skinned si Jesus. Yung skin niya, it's like the skin of the Israeli, yung mga ganon ngayon na mga skin. Okay? Parang Arab. Ganon ang skin ni Jesus. Na maganda yung nose, pero nung time yung beauty ni Jesus, it's different kasi hindi siya mapapansin. Although iba-iba kasi ang beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, di ba? So kung tayo makikita natin si Jesus maganda, maayos ang itsura, pero kung kasama niya lahat gwapo, no? Hindi mapapansin si Jesus. So dito na, from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, dito na dumami ang tao uli. Pinadami uli ni Almighty Father. It's like a new beginning and a new promise, a new hope. The Almighty Father is good. Hindi siya nawawala ng pag-asa sa tao. Although nung nagkaroon ng time na nasaktan kasi si Almighty Father. Si Almighty Father, nasasaktan siya. Gaya natin because He created us in His image and likeness. Kaya nasasaktan din si Almighty Father. Pero just like us, nawawala rin yung galit niya. And si Almighty Father is full of love and concern for His creations, and He will never change. His heart is for us. And that's the reason why He sent Jesus Christ. Because we are His treasure. Thank you, and God loves us all so much.